Found out my sister has been lying about our family to her friends for years. So about 3 years ago, my 15F older sister, 17F Leah's, fake name, personality, basically did a 180 overnight. She went from being the sweet, reliable big sis to kinda snappy and closed off. Stopped doing chores, would get an attitude if anyone reminded her. Spent all day in her room, you get the point. I was 12 at the time, so I was just like, why is she acting like that? And my brother, 21M, was moved out and busy with school and whatnot. In the beginning, my parents chalked it up to teenage girl hormones, which was also technically part of the issue. But also one night, she just came out of her room crying and told us she is bisexual. My parents were extremely supportive of this, so was my brother, because he's gay. I wasn't educated on this kind of stuff at the time, so I didn't get until my parents explained it to me and why it was such a big deal to her, and I was just like, cool, good for you, sis. So anyways, her behavior got better after that, and she was being nice to us again. She didn't hang out with me as much, which is like what teenage girl wants to be around there? Little sister LOL. So fast forward 3 years later, me and my sister are really close again, or at least I thought we were. One thing I've noticed same with my parents is that her friends started acting very weird towards us. Like they wouldn't talk to us when they came over, if they did. Or would occasionally make backhanded remarks, or roll their eyes when we spoke. It was weird, but again, this was only when they came over, which was rarely, so me and my parents kinda just brushed them off like whatever, they don't have to. Like us. I just found out why they act like this. Probably like an hour ago, IDK? I was peacefully binge watching an anime when my phone started buzzing like crazy. When I checked, I was added into a group chat on IG by her friends. In this group chat, they were basically bashing me for being a horrible person. They were calling me homophobic, a spoiled brat, terrible sister, golden child, home wrecker. Kept telling me I need to apologize to my sister for abusing her, so obviously I'm confused. When I expressed my confusion to them, they told me to stop acting dumb and innocent. Later, they realized I was being serious and genuinely did not know what they were talking about. That's when they sent me a bunch of screenshots between them and my sister. To sum things up, my sister has fed her friends a very wild story about her life and how we treat her. Our parents are extremely homophobic and are kicking her out at 18 because of her sexuality. When she came out, I quickly became the favorite child. I'm spoiled and get everything I want, and because of this I treat her badly for fun? I hit her, steal, break her things, verbally abuse her, and call her homophobic slurs. Not only do my parents allow it, they encourage it. She's forced to do all of the chores and cooking in the house, including cleaning my room. This girl does not know how to cook, lied about other stuff, like having autism, and me making fun of her for it, which is crazy, because I'm the one with autism. There's so much more. The screenshots go back like 2 years, so she's been telling them this shit for close to 3 fucking years. I asked them why it's taken them this long to confront me. They said she begged them not to confront or talk to us about it, because apparently it will make things worse for her. And her plan was just to go NC with us once she's 18. But they couldn't hold back this time, because the most recent thing she told them was that apparently I found out the guy she likes is talking to, and immediately found his social media and started texting him. Now he won't talk to her. So not the abusing, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back for them? Lamau Y debunked as much as I could. Sent them pics from pride festivals we went to with her. Sent them pics of us. We take a lot together. Sent them pics of my brother with his boyfriend. They were pissed, but I asked them not to do anything until I figure out how to deal with it. Because apparently my sister is the abused black sheep of the family, they agreed. The convo about me stealing the boy she likes happened a few hours ago. I checked on my sister, and she was peacefully sleeping, so she doesn't know the GC. As for me, I'm having many emotions about this: shocked, hurt, angry. It feels like a huge slap in the face. I don't know how to go about this. I don't even know why she's doing it. For attention? Update 1. I talked to my parents, and it went kinda how I expected, kinda not. Also, I know this is kinda late. I do apologize for that. I stayed up most of the night, A, because I was reading your comments and whatnot, and B, couldn't sleep that much, LOL. Got up 2 hours in. But I went with the obvious advice y'all gave me, and took screenshots of everything, including the MSGs from the last night GC. My dad gets home earlier, then my mum and my sister has a part-time job, so I spoke to my dad first. Obviously, he was furious, shocked, hurt. It was hard watching it happen since I love my dad. He also apologized a lot, as I'm the one who had to find this out and sit him down. Anyway, Mom got home and my dad wanted to talk to her alone, so I went in my room. This is the unexpected part. I heard my parents arguing a lot, and I'll skip the details, but I later found out that Mom knew Abit Leah's lies. She found out Abit 5 months ago and didn't tell my dad. I don't know the details, but apparently she made my sister promise not to do it anymore and just trusted that she wouldn't. Lmao. Safe to say my dad was pissed. Leah got home and things got worse. More screaming from Leah. It was hard not to hear BC. I was literally in the house, but my dad said that Leah was punching and scratching her legs, threatening to kill herself, also screaming that she was going to kill me. So I was kinda scared to leave my room. Literally never heard my sister scream like that before. My dad was already mad that my mom went behind his back and kept him out of something that involves his child. My mom defended herself saying that she was just protecting Leah and that she's just a kid. But my dad is smart enough to realize that Leah is clearly not mentally well and said she needed to be put in a MH. A lot of you said the same. From what I heard and what my dad told me, my mom begged him not to, but dad was already pissed at what she did, so he threatened to leave her if she didn't comply. There was more arguing, but eventually they did drive her to the hospital, and obviously I haven't seen her. Me and my dad are now at my grandparents', dad's side, and he is not currently speaking to my mom, but he did tell her that if she tries to take Leah out, then she is ending their marriage. I also spoke to my brother, and obviously he was hurt, but concerned for our sis, so there's that. My dad and I have talked a lot. Good talks. He apologized to me for everything going on, but it's not his fault, so there's nothing to forgive if anything. I feel more bad at the situation, but me and my dad are good. I'm not sure exactly where my parents' relationship stands right now, but dad told me not to worry about adult stuff, and to just focus on being a kid and going to school, so that's what I'm gonna try and do. But that's basically everything. For now, I will update if anything else happens. Update 2. I'll start with some positive stuff first. I got to see my brother and his BF. They took me and my dad to the movies, and out to dinner. It was really fun. It took my mind off things. New Year's was really fun. I spent it with my dad's side of the family. I haven't shared too much details with friends, because this is a family matter. But from what they know, they've been super supportive and sweet. Now, on to other stuff. Leah was supposed to get out on the 1st, but that didn't end up happening. She did get out on the 5th and is at home with our mom. Again, I repeat, I don't know how all that stuff works. I had a conversation with my dad about not feeling comfortable going home and being around my sister and mom just yet, and he was very understanding, but he did have to go back for obvious reasons. And my grandparents were more than pleased to keep me there, lol. About my sister, from what I know, her first day out, she didn't talk to anyone, and basically just slept the rest of the day. Second day was a little rough. She wasn't happy about not getting her phone back or having some privileges taken from her. My mom tried to fight with my dad about it, but basically gave up as she's still in hot water with him. When mom found out I wasn't coming home right away and wasn't really open to talking to Leah about the situation yet, she got pretty upset and sent me a message. She basically said that I can't be mad at Leah because she's not well and needs all the support she can get right now, and apparently she's in distraught that I don't want to talk to her and I'm making things worse. Okay, literally never cared less. Leah does have depression, anxiety. I don't know any more than that. Other than she is being medicated, I'm pretty sure my dad did talk to my sister's therapist to update her on the situation. My dad did go through my sister's phone and it wasn't cute. He found a GC where my sister and her friends would basically harass this girl from their school. Reason? No clue. Not just for that situation, but for the whole situation. In general, my dad did have to find the numbers of Leah's friends' parents and let them know of what's been going on. I have no clue what's happening with them, but it's none of my business. Leah did admit that the lying was for attention and false sympathy, and she never meant for it to go this far. Not sure if I believe that entirely. I don't think I need it, but my dad also wants to put me in therapy, so I'm just going with it, lol. Big issue right now, my mom continues to coddle and enable my sister. My sister knows this too, so she hasn't been going to my dad about anything, because she knows that he is going to actually parent her. My mom will try to stand her ground with Leah, but then the waterworks start and blah blah blah. It's annoying, and it's making my dad upset. It's the fact my sister knows she can get my mom to do what she wants. It's manipulative and gross. I have gone back to school, and Leah is coming back soon. I'm worried for when that happens. A lot of you said she might try and spin some story with teachers or counselors, But also, as of right now, my sister is essentially friendless, and I'm not going to talk to her at school either. I mean, it is the consequences of her own actions, but I can't help but pity her. I just don't want her loser ex-friends to come up and be AH to her. At the end of the day, I think that inevitably there will be a meeting with Leah, my parents, ex-friends, and their parents, and the girl that Leah and her friends harassed. I already said this in a comment, but I'm going to say it here too. Regardless of what y'all think, I do not plan on forgiving or speaking to my sister anytime soon, LOL. She does not get a pass because her mental health is shit. She still actively chose to do something disgusting and continued to do that for 3 years. She did not just make up lies about how I treat her. Her and her loser squad would actively make fun of slash and bash my character any chance they got. Looks, hobbies, interests was all bashed. I would never let someone speak about my sister the way she let them speak about me. I love her and genuinely hope she gets better, but I don't have to like her. My mom can think I'm a brat, and my sister can cry about it as much as she wants. I don't care. It's going to take a long time for me to trust her again. It honestly terrifies me to the core how insanely two-faced a person can be. Literally baffles me. Main issue right now, mom and dad. My dad wanted to fight for their marriage, he really did. Looked into marriage counseling and IC immediately. But after more talking, arguing about my sister, my mom lying and continuing with her BS, my dad ended up finding something very disgusting that my mom has been hiding from him that has left him heartbroken. I'd rather not get into it, but I'm sure you'll have some ideas. I'm still letting all of this process. So, no, my dad does not plan on continuing with my mother. Things are a little tough right now. My dad can't exactly just leave our house, mainly because my sister refuses to leave my mom, and understandably my dad doesn't want to leave Leah alone with her, so he's staying just until some legal stuff is sorted out, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. Update 3. Spoilers. It got worse. So, I'll start with my parents. They aren't speaking. Well, they are through attorneys, but my mom can't be civil for 2 seconds in the same room as my father. I did write this in a comment, but yes, my mother was having an affair. There were some theories that my sister found out about the affair which triggered her breakdown, or she found out so mom and her were covering for each other. My mom's affair started just short of a year ago, and Leah had no clue. It's unknown if this was my mother's only affair. Now on to Leah, she got much worse. My mom basically went against everything my dad and her agreed on, and gave her phone back plus other privileges. My dad wasn't even surprised anymore, and just turned her service off. He pays for all our phones. He's also planning on taking mom and sis off the family plan. She did go back to school, which turned out the way I expected. She's doing school from home now, and I'll get into that. In my last post, I believe I mentioned that my dad went through my sister's phone and found a very disturbing group chat where Leah and the losers would bully this girl. I don't think I can actually classify what they were doing to this girl as bullying though. I talked about it in private messages with someone, but it's not something I want to repeat on here. Please just know that it was very, very disturbing and gross. Enough so that the school needed to get involved, which did happen. I'll just call the girl Claire. I won't get into the details of what happened during this school meeting, but ex-friends and my sister got expelled. Yes, expelled. Leah's one and only excuse for the bullying was that she was a bitch to me. My parents were just gonna enroll Leah in an alternative school, but her ex-friend group was also going to that school. They were angry with my sister, threatening to jump her and stuff. My mom feared for her safety, ironic, so she's doing it from home instead. I actually spoke to Claire privately, mostly to apologize on behalf of my sister, and let her know we had no clue. She was honestly one of the sweetest people I've ever spoken with. I feel terrible. She did not deserve what my sister was putting her through, and it honestly makes me ashamed that I'm related to her. Claire is doing okay though, she has a good support system and is in therapy. Leah has completely stopped going to therapy and taking her meds, and basically switched from her victim mentality to just straight up being disgusting to everyone in her life that cares about her, with the exception of being nice to my mom when she wants something. Leah and I did eventually end up speaking through texting. When she got her phone back, she sent me a long paragraph on Instagram, which I won't post on here, but to sum it up, it was basically just her saying that everything that's going on with our family right now is my fault, and all of this could have been avoided if I just talked to her first about the screenshots. Not inherently untrue, but I also don't really care. Originally, I believe my dad was going to try and get primary custody of Leah because he didn't trust my mother for obvious reasons. And I don't know the details of the discussions he's had with his lawyer about it, but Leah's gonna be 18 soon plus. With everything else going on, I don't think he's going to do that anymore. My dad and I did have a long conversation about Leah and what the future looks like for her. To sum that up, he will always love and care for her as his daughter, but as a person, he doesn't particularly like her at the moment. If Leah came to him and showed genuine signs of remorse, plus wanting to get better, he would do so in a heartbeat. But as for right now, you can't help someone who doesn't want help. Forcing it won't make things better. As for my mother and I, we aren't speaking either. Our last conversation was mostly her screaming at me and berating over the phone, mostly over me being a brat and not wanting to come home LOL. I don't really know what the future looks like right now. All I know is I'm gonna stick with my dad. Both my dad and I have been going to therapy, which has been keeping things lighter and less stressful, so that's good. But that's basically the update. I'm sorry to all of those who were really rooting and praying for my sister to get better. This is not easy for anyone in my family right now, but I do apologize.